5-4-1, 5-2-3, 5-3-2, and man-to-man when applying pressure. And as the Joker says,
and here we go.
Did you see that performance? Did you see that Juventus performance? I know you did. I know you did. You know what it is? It leaves a bitter taste because the game ended 1-1 when on another day Juventus win this 3-1, maybe even 4-1, in my opinion. The problem is, it's a very delicate part of the season where Juventus at the moment, because they had such a bad start in the Champions League, Juventus at the moment really need results more than they need performances. But to fill you guys with some joy, I'm a firm believer in get the performances in line and I promise you the results will follow. And the results won't follow in moments. No, they will follow on a consistent basis. Why? Because you're performing to a high level. I think Juventus looks great. I don't care if people disagree with me. I think Juventus looked great. I can hand on heart say that's Juventus's probably best performance in a very long time. In a very, very, very long time. They were direct. They were dynamic. Players were interchanging. Constant overlaps. Constant overloads in the center. Like, on another day, I think they win this 2-3-1. But like I said, the 1-1, it does leave every Juve fan a little bit cautious. Like, looking at the Champions League table and thinking, like, the next 4 games, it's make or break. The next 4 games are all must win. Juventus need to accumulate 12 out of 12 in the next 4. But you know what's crazy? Looking at that performance, I think they can. I think they can. Because if they can perform like that, how many training sessions do you think they've had under Spalletti? He what? First training session on Friday. Game against Cremonese on Saturday. I assume they got Sunday off. So Monday and then today is Tuesday. 2 training sessions. Let's just say they never got Sunday off. 3 training sessions. And they look like a completely different team to the team I was documenting a month ago under Tudor. 3 training sessions. Now imagine if 3 turns into 4. If 4 turns into 5. If 5 turns into 10. Nah, Juventus look good. Juventus look really, really, really good. Of course, there's still some areas that need major addressing. But I think Juventus look good. The players look fired up. Oh, okay, they go 1-0 down. It was a goal that came out of nothing. But you know what it is? Sporting Lisbon, they worked that goal so well. Just giving and going. 1-2s. The ball makes its way down the left-hand side. The player scores. I was actually looking at Juventus and I was like, is there a reaction? Like, let's see. Because, guys, let's be honest. The first 15, 20 minutes, I thought Juventus might go on to lose 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. Sporting Lisbon were all over them. But Juventus, they grew into the game. That last 25 minutes of the first half, Juventus were all over them. Do you know why they were all over them? Because of Dusan Vlahovic. I told you guys the Joker. I told you guys the Joker. This dude plays like a guy that's gotten his heart broken. His girl left him. His wife left him. I don't know if he's married. Somebody left him. He's heartbroken. He doesn't crack a smile. He doesn't crack a smile. Like, if we were to look at his numbers, he scored himself a goal. We will touch on that one later. He had 6 shots. How many times? Like, I remember it so vividly under Allegri when Vlahovic was up front and I was watching Juve. I wasn't making content back then, but I was like, it's kind of criminal when your striker is only having 1 shot on goal. Like, a striker is supposed to shoot. Don't get me wrong. If a striker shoots 6 times, it's pretty ludicrous to expect him to score 6 out of 6. But you need your striker to be pulling the trigger. If you don't shoot, you don't score. If you don't score, you stand no chance of ever winning a game of football. Like, even in academy football, they tell you, if you're an attacking player and you get that half yard, get the ball at your feet and pull the trigger. You have to shoot. You have to test the keeper. 6 out of 6 shots on target. When was the last time we said that about Dusan Vlahovic? 32 touches. Involved. I remember Vlahovic on the Motta. He wouldn't even average 10 touches a 90-minute game. He'd finish a game on like 6, 7 touches. 32 touches. And you know why? All of a sudden, the Joker feels comfortable to drop deep. Bro, he is dropping deep. He is doing chest controls. He's doing flicks around the corner. Like, if somebody told me this is not Dusan Vlahovic, it's somebody else, I'd probably believe them. I'd believe them. I'd be like, I don't know who this guy is, but he must have a stunning girlfriend. Because the moment she left him, he's become a different man. He's finished. He looks heartbroken. He genuinely looks heartbroken out there. Like, he's a man on a mission. vengeance. Like, he wants to prove everybody wrong. And you know what it is? I'm all for it. I am all for it, brother. He looks amazing. He is rallying the troops. He is leading that press, and like to such a high intensity. I don't know what his motive is. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't know what his motive is. I don't know what his intentions are. Whether it's he's looking at this season as an audition to the Juve board. Maybe it's an audition for him to move to another club across the world. At the end of the day, he's taking his career serious. He's putting in 110%. I can never ever fault that. What else? 5 recoveries in the final third. He created himself one chance. Like, even when you look at his heat map, this is not a Dusan Vlahovic heat map. He's all over the place. When you look at the goal, I think it was a great goal. Hey. You see, when people look at that goal, they look at the final action player, Dusan Vlahovic. They might look at Kefrem Turam with an amazing carry, and then he puts it into the striker's path. You know who I look at? Cop Miners in the centre-back position. I'm going to be real. I sit down, I give my opinion. I never ever anticipated. I never ever even thought about the idea of taking it back to AZ Alkmaar. Cop Miners' progressive pass was about 20 yards. First time on his left foot into Kenan Yildiz. He controls it, holds up the ball. Turam takes over. Turam carries, feeds it into the path of Vlahovic. 1-1. Everyone involved. Progressive pass. Hold up by Kenan. Ball carrying by Turam. Finished by Dusan Vlahovic. That's how you play the game of football. That's how you play the game of football. Nobody was hugging onto the ball too long. Nobody was like overcomplicating the game in a sense. Every single player playing to their strengths. It was a lovely goal. And you know, when they scored it, I was like, hey, Juve might score another. Juve might score a third. And you know what it is? Juve had openings, man. Like, Juve actually had openings. I feel like the second half, there was like a little 5, 7, 8 minute period where like Sporting Lisbon got back into the game. Second half, Juve were all over them. It's just, sometimes it's that final ball. Sometimes it's that decision making in the final third. Sometimes it's that cross. It's that final touch. But I'm going to just put it out there. First, like when a new coach takes over, so many people expect the honeymoon period where the coach comes in, win us 5 out of 5 games. After those 5 games, the honeymoon period comes to an end. And that's when you start looking at the performances. Like, you see me, every club that I ever speak about, I always say, when a new coach comes in, don't give a shit about the results. Trust me, it sounds harsh. Don't give a shit about the results. When a new coach walks in, don't look at the result. Look at the performances. The problem is, when a coach walks in halfway into the season, like Hermano, we have to look at the results. We have to look at the results because you're playing for something. With Spalletti, I'll be honest, just look at the performances. Look at the performances. Look at the growth. Look at the hunger. Look at the motivation. Look at how the players are now playing in different roles, but they look good. I think every single player looked good. Like, no, I can't say it. Like, Gatti, I wasn't impressed. Like, Gatti playing out of the back, he was a calamity today. Di Gregorio, I like him, but Di Gregorio for me today in possession, absolute calamity, kicking the ball out of play, like not being able to play under pressure. But everybody else, Conceição not involved for me, like as much as he should be. But everybody else, Locatelli, wow, Cup Miners, good game. Kalulu, I think he had a good game. Turam a bit 50-50. Turam a bit 50-50. Like, Turam really needs to start working on shooting in the final third because he had so many great openings and he fluffed his lines. My point is, these dudes are looking so much more better than they looked collectively under Tudor. I can probably make a case they're looking all far better than they looked under Motta, like Motta's early days. And it's only been 3 training sessions. Look at the performances. Once you get the performances in line and you begin to see Kenan is playing well on a consistent basis, Cop Miners is playing well on a consistent basis, Dusan Vlahovic is playing well on a consistent basis, I promise you, like, it's the way football works. It's like the domino effect. Get the performances, get the consistency. Next thing you know, what do they fall on? Results. Spalletti's made it clear. You stink it out. You give me attitude. You are not playing. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you cost. Tudor really is now coming across like the friendly giant because I was looking at their body language under Tudor. I was looking at the way they were playing the game. I was looking at the fact that some of them didn't look interested. Some of them weren't given 100%. But now, like, are you really telling me within a week they can just switch it on like a light switch? I think sometimes this is why it's good to bring in a proven coach with experience, with the personality, like somebody that can walk in and just put everybody in line. For me, Tudor, He might be able to put them in line via his personality because he's a fiery individual. But at the end of the day, let's be honest. These players are probably looking at him and thinking, who are you to speak to me like this? Like, what have you won? We need to learn to differentiate between the player and the coach. As a coach, he's done nothing in the game. As a coach, he's done nothing in the game. And I think it was the exact same thing with Motta. They were looking at Motta and they were thinking, all right, cool. You got Bologna into the top 4. That's cute, bro. Like that's really cute. But what's that to me? This is Juve. You're out here flexing your top 4 trophy. Get out of here. I think with Spalletti, it's a bit different. You try to run your mouth to me, whip out the tattoo, bro. Whip out the tattoo. Scudetto winner. Shut your mouth. I don't know. It's just me thinking out loud. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on another one.